Welcome to today's episode, where we explore the strengths and weaknesses of different personality types, based on the behavior color model from Surrounded by Idiots. This system divides human behavior into 4 color-coded types: red, yellow, green, and blue. Each has distinct traits, and none are perfect. Let's take a closer look at how each type functions, and how they're perceived by others. Let's begin with the red behavior type. Reds are dynamic, action-oriented, and confident. They get things done quickly, take charge, and don't shy away from responsibility. Their ability to lead and push forward is unmatched. But this same drive can also make them difficult to work with. Reds can be impatient, domineering, and dismissive of rules or others' opinions. In pursuit of results, Reds may bypass systems or people they see as obstacles. They often prefer shortcuts if it helps them move faster. This behavior can be efficient but also reckless. Their direct way of speaking is another challenge. Reds say exactly what they think, often without considering how their words affect others. To them, honesty is helpful. But to others, especially more sensitive personalities, their blunt feedback can feel aggressive or harsh. Reds often have strong control needs. They want influence over how things are done and believe their way is best. They delegate tasks, but if people don't respond quickly enough, Reds might take over entirely. While they may be effective, others often feel steamrolled. Emotionally, Reds may appear cold or uninterested in people's personal stories. It's not that they don't care. They simply shift attention once the key information is received. They often communicate with a strong focus on I, which can be perceived as egotism. Now, let's talk about the yellow behavior type. Yellows are energetic, sociable, and charismatic. They're natural communicators and often bring creativity and enthusiasm to every room they enter. They thrive in group settings, love new ideas, and are excellent at starting projects. But yellows also have a downside. They often talk too much, dominate conversations, and don't listen well. Their enthusiasm for expressing themselves can make them inattentive to what others are saying. While they mean well, it often results in one-sided communication. Yellows can also be disorganized. They dislike structure and prefer spontaneity, which makes them prone to forgetting deadlines, misplacing tasks, or leaving projects unfinished. They jump from one idea to the next, losing interest quickly once the excitement fades. Their optimism can also cloud their self-awareness. Yellows tend to dismiss criticism and focus only on the positive. They may not recognize their own weaknesses, or they simply forget them. Despite these flaws, yellows are often forgiven because of their charm. People put up with the chaos they create because they lift the mood and bring energy. But in professional settings, their lack of follow-through and attention to detail can create real issues. Next, we move on to the green behavior type. Greens are calm, kind, and accommodating. They value harmony and are often the glue that holds groups together. They listen well, avoid confrontation, and prefer to work in the background without demanding attention. Their strength lies in their steadiness and empathy. But this also makes them passive and resistant to change. Greens don't easily express disagreement, especially in large groups, which can lead to misunderstandings. They may nod in agreement during a meeting but later vent their frustrations privately. Because Greens avoid conflict, they often suppress their real feelings. They struggle with direct communication and use vague or ambiguous language to express dissent. This makes it difficult for others to understand where they really stand. Greens are also slow to adapt. Any change, no matter how small, can feel like a major disruption. They need time to adjust, and even then, they may resist. This reluctance can come across as indifference or stubbornness. In relationships, their lack of visible enthusiasm can frustrate more active personalities. They often wait for the right feeling before acting, which may never come. And because they rarely take the initiative, Others may perceive them as disengaged or uninterested. Lastly, let's look at the blue behavior type. Blues are detail-oriented, analytical, and precise. They value logic, facts, and structure. They are perfectionists who strive for excellence in everything they do. If you want something done meticulously, give it to a blue. But blues also struggle with overanalysis. They often delay action because they want more information, more data, or better planning. Their high standards can make them slow to start or complete tasks. And their critical mindset can demoralize teammates who don't meet the same standards. Blues are also seen as cold or distant. They don't engage in small talk and prefer to keep relationships formal unless deep trust is built. While they care deeply, they don't often show it through words or gestures. Blues may also struggle with trust. They tend to double and triple check everything, even their own calculations. They rely more on facts than on people's assurances. This constant need for verification can strain relationships, as others feel distrusted or second-guessed. Their communication is often dry, overly detailed, and filled with corrections. This can come across as pessimistic, even when their intent is to be helpful. Blues think that 95% correct is still wrong, and they'll make sure everyone knows where the missing 5% is. So, what does this all mean? The key takeaway is that no behavior type is perfect. Each color has unique strengths and corresponding weaknesses. Reds are driven but can be overbearing. Yellows are inspiring but unfocused. Greens are kind but resistant to change. Blues are thorough but overly critical. What often leads us to view others as difficult or even idiotic isn't their flaws, but our lack of understanding. Their behavior may not align with ours, and so we assume it's wrong. But as one saying goes, just because you're right doesn't mean I'm wrong. Self-awareness is crucial. Our strengths can become weaknesses in the wrong situation, and how others perceive us may differ greatly from how we see ourselves. Reds and yellows often overlook their flaws, while greens and blues exaggerate theirs. Understanding this framework helps us navigate relationships better, at home, at work, and in social life. We stop expecting others to behave like us and begin appreciating what each personality brings to the table. The next time you find someone hard to work with, consider this. Are they truly being difficult? Or are they simply behaving in a way that's unfamiliar to you? Thanks for watching. If this episode helped you understand yourself or others a little better, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into human behavior.